Hey everybody, welcome back. Justin Yates here with the official 2021 North Carolina Film Festival. I have these two amazing gentlemen right here, Christian and Thomas. They are part of the Dancin Bulldogs, and it's a documentary.
Yes, sir.
And that's not the full title. Can you tell us what the full title is?
Yeah, so the full title, you got to have a subtitle nowadays.
Of course,
it's the Dancin Bulldogs, a 16-seeds journey to the national tournament.
Excellent. So tell us, for people that don't know, it's brand new, right?
It's brand new.
When did you guys complete filming and editing and all that?
Finished it and did a release in October of 2020. So I say brand new. It's not quite been out for a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of a project born of quarantine. So
cool.
Back in March 2020, not many film projects were going on for me.
Yeah.
And so we were looking for something to do. And it was around the same time as the Last Dance documentary came out on ESPN about Michael Jordan.
Oh
and the
yeah,
Chicago
I watched
Bulls.
that. That was really good. Yeah, very, very
really
good.
Inspiring. And it kind of amazed me that a documentary about games that happened 25, 30 years ago was so engaging. You're sitting there pulling for him even though you already know whether they won or lost the game. And so that kind of inspired us to where, I called up Thomas and I was like, I have this idea for what at the time was going to be a 5-minute video about our college, Gardner-Webb University.
Okay.
And about their trip to the NCAA tournament for the first time, and so that's kind of how it was born.
Is that how? So how do you guys know each other? I see you're wearing a Gardner-Webb University jacket, so that this is a telltale sign, I think.
Yes, sir. So Gardner-Webb University is located in our hometown, Bowling Springs. So
awesome.
We're both students. He graduated a couple years ago. I'm a student right now, rising senior at Gardner-Webb.
Excellent.
And our family's known each other for a long time.
Cool,
We've
cool.
always been close friends, and we have a lot of the same interests and a lot of the same interest in creative endeavors. And he just reached out to me with this project, and like he said, we thought it was just going to be a really, really small, focused video, maybe 5 or 10 minutes on YouTube.
Yeah.
The project kept building. We kept getting more support from the community and from the university, and it turned into what it is now, and it's been a crazy process.
Do you guys play basketball at all, or are you just filmmakers?
Goodness no.
So talk a little bit about your roles in the film. What it was that you guys did.
Yeah, so I'm the director and composer. I kind of put the project together. I guess I ended up being the makeshift editor as well, and then I wrote the music. I'm a film composer by
cool.
trade. That's kind of what I do. That's what I'm passionate about.
Awesome.
So this was my first directorial endeavor, but
fantastic.
That's kind of my role in the film.
Yeah.
What about you, Thomas?
Yeah, he kind of pulled me in as first assistant director and executive producer. So there's a lot of interviews you'll see on this film. I was responsible for tracking down those people and forming the Zoom interviews.
Many interviews.
Yeah.
Within the pandemic, we had to adjust. It wasn't the highest quality of audio and photography, but it's pretty cool that everybody was at home. We could reach out to them through Zoom and
awesome.
just sit down with them, and they were more than happy to share a lot with us. And I just did my best to market and promote it as much as possible.
Very cool. Very cool.
We also had Eli Harden and Brendan Boylan. They're also two Gardner-Webb graduates. Wanted to make sure I
shout out to
out.
Eli and who else?
Brendan Boylan.
Eli and Brendan. They hear you right here, guys. We it's interesting because we talk a lot about some of the challenges that happen in filmmaking. Pre-COVID, during COVID, now we're getting into the after phase of it, trying to figure out what all the new stuff is going to be now. And so, for you guys, what would you say was the most challenging part about making the piece, packaging it up, getting it into festivals? What's been the hardest part?
Yeah, definitely with COVID, like Thomas mentioned, interviews were a challenge. And so, you've got to get Zoom interviews. Not everybody's got the same quality of camera, same quality audio.
Right.
So that was kind of challenging when we were first putting it together. But, if you're going to look on the bright side, like you mentioned, we got access to people we wouldn't have been able to interview otherwise. Coaches from Virginia's basketball team, Chris Holtman in Ohio. So, people that we really we're fortunate to be able to interview. It really worked well because they're all on Zoom, so it's kind of all equal standing. And then past that, I would say probably the big challenge was cutting it down. The documentary, I think it was about 15 minutes longer when we first put the first cut together, and really deciding, what's important, what games are worth showing, what interviews are worth keeping in.
And how long is it now?
It's an hour and 20 minutes now. It started around a little over an hour and a half. Do you have anything to add to that?
Oh, yeah. So I would say the first priority with this film was to make our school proud, make Gardner-Webb University, make the basketball team, just everybody who was involved, to make them happy with it. But also we wanted to expand on that and be able to reach audience members who maybe didn't even have connection at all to the school.
Right.
And so it was a challenge to focus on just telling a story that could be universally appreciated. Like you didn't have to have that personal connection.
And like we said, you know, if it's a documentary, it's true.
Right.
So you can't just be like, you know what, change that part. You know, you have to. So have you showed it to the school?
Oh, absolutely.
What do they say? What do they think?
Well, you know, our the coach at the school, Coach Tim Kraft, he's a massive fan of it.
Awesome.
You know, we provided him a hard copy of it on
Very cool.
DVD, and he actually went to a screening on campus, and we got to watch it with him in the audience, so that was pretty cool. So
excellent.
Yeah, it's they've really appreciated it.
Very cool, very cool. And I can imagine, you know, that's like a make or break. You know, you make a documentary about, you know, something that's happening at school, and it's not great. You know, you're going to hear that, you know. Vice versa, though, you know, you make it and it's awesome. I mean, the coach wants a hard copy, so that's very cool. That's very cool. So can you guys talk a little bit about, you know, that's some of the challenges. What are some of the more positive takeaways that you've gotten back from going through this experience? I'm sure you've learned a lot. You know, what would you say is the most positive thing that you're going to take away from doing all this?
Gosh, I mean, you know, like I said, it was my directorial debut. I don't know if I'll direct more things or if I'll stick to composing, but it was such a great learning experience for, you know, what it takes to put a film together start to finish.
Right.
As a composer, I'm normally coming in on the very tail end of things, so to really start from, you know, the beginning of scripting, interviewing, that whole process, that was a huge learning factor. And then, you know, just getting more experience in the film world, you know, coming to film festivals, getting it out there, getting feedback from people has been really a blessing for us.
Do you think you're going to continue to stay in the directing lane, or it's obvious music, you love to do music, but did you get the itch for doing the directing?
I got a little bit of the itch. We'll see. I don't want to commit to anything,
okay,
but I'm not opposed to returning to it. I'll go with that.
I can't read what that says. I don't have any glasses. Can you get a little bit closer? Hans Zimmer! Wait, you what with Hans Zimmer?
I interned with Hans Zimmer.
What? Oh my goodness, that's awesome. That's really cool. What was that like?
That was pretty incredible.
I bet. He's the man.
He's the man, and he's got a studio full of incredible composers. Ramin Djawadi, he did Game of Thrones.
Oh, wow.
Lauren Balfe, he did the most recent Mission Impossible. So, I mean, studying under all of those people, getting to watch them work, it was pretty incredible experience.
I bet. Man, that's great. What about you, Thomas?
Well, I haven't interned with Hans Zimmer, but I am a film student at Gardner-Webb.
Awesome.
And, so it was kind of interesting to have this as a project that wasn't even connected to my school work, but it was, you know, connected to the school and just something I could, you know, show off the skills that I've learned throughout my time at Gardner-Webb. And you know, I'm also into film journalism as well. Part of a few different critics associations.
So what is film journalism?
Well, it kind of varies depending on the setting, but I write movie reviews, you know, film analysis. I also do podcasts and a local TV show in Shelby, North Carolina as well.
Very cool.
Through Cleveland Community College. So
you guys are doing some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like having Thomas really it benefited having you anyways. But I feel like it was really beneficial having someone from the film criticism side, because I've pretty much got a film critic working as part of the crew. Like, we're getting that real-time feedback. So, you know, now we have the perfect film because you think it's 5 stars.
Much,
so.
Very cool. Yeah, of course. So what do you guys think is next? Are you going to continue to work with each other? Do you already have a project that's lined up that you're going to be doing in the future, or what's going on?
Yes, I mean, I certainly hope we keep working together. We've actually got a Zoom meeting with Brendan and Eli in a couple weeks to kind of discuss potential projects in the future. I'm continuing to score. I've got a few short films coming out in the coming months. ChristianJessup.com. You can visit that and check out. Yeah, trust
me, we're gonna absolutely get to that.
Got to plug myself.
Since you've already said it, go ahead and let people know how they can follow you, how they can see some of your previous stuff, get to know you, and, you know, follow your stuff in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. You can follow me on social media at Jessup_music. My website's ChristianJessup.com. Pretty easy to get to.
What about you, Thomas?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at T_Cube_Manning. And you can find my film blog review website at therundownonmovies.com.
Oh, very cool. Awesome. So how long have you been running the Rundown on Movies website?
Let's see, about 3 years up to this point. There's also some other work I do out there for elementsofmadness.com, which is a website based in Matthews, North Carolina that's run by Douglas Davidson. So
Cool, cool. And what is Elements of Madness about? That sounds very intriguing.
yeah. So it's mostly a film review website, but it's written film reviews, then some video interviews with filmmakers and podcasts. It's there's a whole team of other people that write for it as well.
Awesome.
So it's a great community. I really enjoy it.
So how do people listen to your podcast?
Oh, let's see. So you can find it on SoundCloud.
Okay.
So the podcast that I'm with, Meet Me in the Movies.
Okay.
And it also is online at c19.tv. And I'm co-host on that show with Noel Manning, happens to be my father. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
We bring in guests occasionally. Christian actually used to be co-host on there as well.
Excellent.
So we kind of go way back.
So what got you guys into the filmmaking world? So I know you said that you've done, scoring and you're a composer. So what is it? What was it? How old are you guys?
I'm 25.
And
I'm 21.
so at what age were you just like, you know what? It's movies, and one way or another, that's where I'm going.
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, it just feels like it's always been that for me, especially movie music. I remember as a kid watching The Lion King on repeat, like the Hans Zimmer score.
I could tell you every word of that movie.
Right. And then standing in lines at Disney World and me and my dad singing songs together. I mean, just literally from as long as I can remember, I've always been into music and movies. So it just kind of seemed natural when I graduated high school. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do.
What do you feel like is your most favorite part about filmmaking and movies, especially now that you guys are officially selected, filmmakers how many film festivals have you been officially selected to?
This was our first official selection.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what do you feel like is, the thing that you love the most about doing this stuff?
I just love telling stories. Stories
storytelling.
that connect to the real world and can commentate on our own reality and make people happy. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Very
Probably
cool.
the vanity in me, but I love people's reactions to my work. Obviously, it's not always positive, but I especially love when something I've made or that we've made has impacted people, and especially to see the comments on the video, to see people reviewing it and really talking about what it meant to them personally. It's really cool to think that you've been a part of making something that's impacted someone else.
Yeah. What does your family think about what you guys are doing?
They've been so supportive.
That's
my
good.
wife, Megan, she pushes me every step of the way. Every time I'm ready to quit, she's like, no, you're going to work on
Do
this.
it!
And like I said, my mom and dad and sister, ever since I was a kid, they've always been all about supporting me.
That's important. I feel like, especially for an artist, you're either a very sad artist or you're a very blessed artist for having people, kind of push you in the right direction. So what about you, Thomas?
Oh yeah, so my father, Noel Manning, who I mentioned earlier, he's always been really big into movies. He's worked on sets before. He worked on Last of the Mohicans.
What?
Yeah, he did. He was a.
What did he do?
Let's see, he was an assistant to the assistant director. So he was basically on the second unit.
Second AD or something. Second
something. Yeah,
unit.
a little bit lower down the ladder, but yeah.
Very cool.
And so he's just kind of raised me to appreciate good movies, but I didn't really get into actual studying film until I came into Gardner-Webb when I was 18 years old. And then I actually took a few classes with him. So he's a film professor there, and
wow, your dad's a film professor at the school that you go to?
he's
That's awesome.
adjunct film professor. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so I took a few classes with him that really opened my eyes
I
to
bet.
just the wider world.
Yeah.
Even though I had pretty decent foundational knowledge, but then that just kind of opened everything up. And over the past few years, it's just kept building and growing until here we are right now. So
Yeah, here you are.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys. Really looking forward to seeing the film. We're actually just getting ready to play it. We just want to... I should wear glasses. How can people watch it after it's out of the film festivals, they got to wait for it to be through the film festival circuit?
So it's actually already on YouTube. We wanted to
great.
just make it readily available to everyone. So if you search the Dancin Bulldogs, don't put the G on there, you're going to get Bulldogs that are dancing, but put Dancin in apostrophe Bulldogs in YouTube and you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, everybody was asking me if I was spelling it wrong on all the schedules.
No.
They're just like, are you missing a G there? I'm like, no, I'm missing an apostrophe, actually. You guys heard it right here. Christian and Thomas, the Dancin Bulldogs. You can find it on YouTube. Remember, it's IN with the apostrophe, no G. Excellent gentlemen here. It's a pleasure to meet them. We're going to be viewing the film right now. It's getting ready to play right here at the official North Carolina Film Festival. We want to thank these guys for coming in. Congratulations to you both. Congratulations to your team and to your families. All right, guys, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to be back in about 5 minutes to do another interview with one of the official selected filmmakers here at the North Carolina Film Festival.